being here this evening. I'm sure there were better things to do, but you are here, so you have to listen to us, right? I'm just joking. How many of you have actually heard of SAP? One, two, three. Okay, most of you. How many of you have heard of SAP in BFSI? Few of you, fewer of you, I would say. And there might be certain reasons behind it, but we definitely want to change that. We want to bring in a lot of value to our customers, even in the banking, insurance sectors, financial services sector. We just had a recent change in terms of our pathways, and we are bringing in a completely new stack in terms of autonomous enterprise. And in the past, always there have been innovation right throughout the human history, right? And this, we feel, is one of those innovations. I just wanted to start off with a video which gives a perspective of how innovations are actually perceived by people, right? So let me run that video a little bit. If you can dim the lights so that you can see the video properly.
Since the dawn of time, history has been defined by a series of world-changing innovations. These groundbreaking moments were not always met with the appropriate levels of enthusiasm.
Well, that's the end of the raw food industry.
It's called a sale.
I don't know. We've always been more of a rowing-centric organization. We have. I call it inoculation.
Clever, but we have a lot invested in leeches right now. There you go.
Leeches?
Oh, that's the end of Shakespeare.
I'm not afraid of you. I'm not happy.
That's the end of their careers.
No doubt.
Don't want mainframes.
What did you think?
Well, that's the end of big data.
What is this called?
The internet.
I do not like it.
How do you like it?
We're calling it software as a service. You think people are going to rent software?
SAP HANA. It's the end of legacy enterprise tech stacks with siloed ERP and analytics. I don't even want to imagine a world without legacy enterprise tech stacks with siloed ERP and analytics.
So we're an autonomous enterprise now. You know what that means?
It's the end.
The end of busy work, bottlenecks, and silos, and the beginning of faster, simpler, better.
Welcome to the autonomous enterprise. It's not the end of anything. It's the beginning of better.
So I hope you got the message from the video that when we talk about autonomous enterprise, it's not the same. It's the beginning of something better. Some people might actually get excited with it, and some might be very skeptical with it. But the answer lies in understanding what this change is, right? And it is important for us as technology leaders to at least understand what is on the plate, right? So this is SAP. This is autonomous enterprise, and this is what we call the beginning of better, right? Now, I said that there are fewer BFSI, but if you look at globally, we have approximately 15,000 plus BFSI customers. We have a 44% growth rate in this particular industry. Some of our marquee customers like JP Morgan Chase, Standard Chartered Bank actually run on SAP platforms, whether it is banking or whether it is insurance. Here in India, the most of the insurance companies run our investment management solution. Top 10 of banking globally, top 10 of insurance globally actually run our solution. So we have a lot of experience over here. We do a lot of things globally. Here in India, for sure, we want to start off with some of the big ones, right? And we want to start this autonomous enterprise journey with three things in mind. One, how do we transform the business the way you do it today versus the way you would do it tomorrow? Second, bring in intelligence into all of your processes, whether it is front office, back office, whether it is marketing, whether it is finance, whether it is analysis, data, etc. Right? And we want to also drive automation using AI, agentic AI, as well as assisted AI, right? And you will see some of those examples as well as to how we are actually delivering this and making it happen for a lot of our customers, right? Now, how is this actually built, right? So our base is our SAP Business AI platform. I think in the previous session, somebody actually asked a question that should the AI be responsible, right? There are three things in businesses how AI is different or how AI should be different. If you look at consumer AI, okay, 80% match, fine, right? But when it comes to business AI, it has to be 100% accurate, which means that you need to have not only a responsible AI, which is explainable as to what are the steps that it is taking, it needs to be reliable, right? It needs to be reliable and it needs to be scalable as well. Sometimes what happens, we do these AI POCs, but when it comes to scale, right, it works with 10 use cases, but when it comes to scale, it doesn't work, right? So how do we maintain a reliable, responsible, as well as scalable AI is what we address through this business AI platform, wherein we have three concepts, right? One is whether you are using SAP agents, non-SAP agents, whether you are using Claude, sir, right, or whether you are using any of the other LLM, there has to be a governance mechanism, wherein we have introduced something called as AI Agent Hub, where you can actually define these governance policies as what agent can do, what are the data accesses that it will have, what is the data that it can take and train, and what is the data that it cannot take and train, right? And when the final model comes up, that final model should be in your instances only and it cannot be published outside, right? So that's the governance model. The second important part is that whatever AI agents come in, it needs to have the business data context, in the sense that how do you run your organization? What are the processes in place, right? What are the steps? What are the approval structures, right? All of that knowledge has to be there for all of the agents to work off of that. So that particular layer of knowledge and data, okay, is very, very important, because without that, AI will actually hallucinate, right? So the knowledge graph, contextualization, and reason is something which is very important. That's built into our business AI platform. And the third important thing is building it. The build has to be very easy. It can't be that the AI build requires me 2 months, 3 months of POC. The build has to be within minutes, the deployment has to be within days, and the testing has to be instant, right? So that's where our build comes into picture, where the business AI build actually uses all of this and builds the AI agents that you want. What we are doing on top of it is we are building the agentic layer, which is called the autonomous suite, which will address the app layer, which is financial apps, it could be HR apps, it could be CX or consumer experience apps. All of these apps have some logic that has been built in over the years for your organization. How do we actually make them autonomous is to map these processes into an intelligence layer called a process intelligence layer, which then actually can give you perspective of how you are running the processes, what has to be an ideal process, what are the variations to this particular process, and how do we plug these gaps, right? So that's the process intelligence and autonomous layer or autonomous suite in between, which is the app layer. And then on top of that, you have a single engagement layer called Joule. How many of you have heard about headless architecture? Right? 2 people. How many of you have heard about faceless apps? Okay, nobody, right? That's the concept that we are bringing in. It's called faceless apps. What headless architecture says is that we do not have an app layer, we do not have anything, we just define and it works on the flow, on the go, right? With faceless apps, what happens is the app layer is there, all of your processes are there, but the face to the user, okay, is one single face, and which is our SAP Joule in this case, and that interacts with the apps on the backend, right? So you do not need to change your apps, you do not need to redo the entire thing, but at the same time you can give it a new face. So on the back end, it works out what processes are the user talking about, what analysis is the user talking about, and what actions is the user talking about. And it will figure out which assistant and which agent will do that particular work. That's what is faceless apps, which means that there is one single engagement layer. It can be 30 apps, 50 apps, 80 apps, multiple data architectures on the back end. So that's how we are delivering autonomous enterprise to our customers. Just to give you an example, how does it look like?
For many, the world of the financial close is tight deadlines, manual data crunching, and high pressure. Today, that world is changed. The SAP Financial Closing Assistant, now supercharged with agentic AI, puts every hour close accounting in the pilot seat of an agentic team close. Instantly, the dashboard comes alive and the receivables clearing agent is ready for review. Avery reviews the list of proposed clearings that the agent has analyzed and prepared. And he is satisfied with the proposed clearings and posts them, saving hours of manual effort. Impressed, Avery realizes the benefits of creating an agentic team close. And now is eager for the next agent review, intercompany reconciliation. The agent has automatically compared intercompany receivables and payables across all entity pairs, flagging items that require attention. Avery drills into the first flagged item. The agent has provided a detailed reasoning for the matched pairs. A quick review confirms the agent's accuracy. Avery approves the matched pairs and accepts the proposed adjustments for the remaining items. Avery transitions back to the main dashboard to view the current agentic statuses. Now only 2 agents are active. Avery taps the journal entry agent to investigate the accruals. Avery starts a conversation with Joule to assist him with the journal entry proposals for company code 1710. Avery provides relevant data to Joule and confirms Joule's next step. Joule then successfully creates the journal entry proposal, which is ready for Avery to review. Avery likes the proposal and clicks post. Avery checks his dashboard, and since the agents have completed all of the work, he has time for financial analysis. Avery opens the financial statements review booklet on company code 1710. He asks Joule to analyze the KPIs. Joule responds and the financial analysis agent acts, helping to analyze KPIs like the fixed expense ratio, gross profit margin, return on equity, return on assets, current ratio, and total depreciation expenses, giving you a good overall picture of the financial health of your business. And just like that, we are back to the main dashboard with our work complete.
So what you saw over there was an architecture where there is a closing assistant, which is backed by multiple agents, which are actually doing the task one by one, as you call it, right? It provides with a reasoning behind what it is doing. You verify the reasoning, and you say that it's okay to go ahead. So there is always a human in the loop, but the entire work that needs to be done today for a accruals agent or for a closing, all of that is now being done by AI, right? So basically, the short of this is that it requires a 3-layered approach wherein you have a role defined for the assistant, you have the task defined for the agent, and you have the data defined in terms of what they have access to and what are the actions that they are allowed to do. So this in all is actually what we are delivering to our customers from a financial closing perspective. There are so many other use cases. From a BFSI perspective, I think it is important because there are so many scenarios which can do better with these AI interventions. Whether you call about customer facing or customer expectations in terms of a personalized approach to the customer, or if we talk about speed to market for your products, customizing your products according to the consumer behavior, or we talk about identifying frauds or identifying patterns, or if we talk about regulatory compliance, which requires a lot of work. All of these use cases are actually being built into our applications, right? If we look at the banking, insurance, and NBFC, we have a complete stack, right from the agent, broker, partner experience or consumer experience to the actual policy management, claims management, or the lending loans management system. We have that entire stack. Obviously, on the back end, from a spend and finance perspective, we have the entire stack. Whether it is to do with multi-company consolidation, we have that. Obviously, the parallels in terms of HR as well as IT, we have a complete layer which helps in terms of deployment of these applications. So if we look at today a Standard Chartered Bank or a JP Morgan Chase, right? They are actually on almost the complete stack with us, right? So this is something that we have to offer, and the way we are delivering the agentic and autonomous enterprise, this will only improve in terms of the benefit outcomes. The autonomous capabilities within BFSI that we are working upon are some of these wherein can we drive the credit rating of the customers or rating of the customers based on AI, right? Based on the feeds that we are getting. Can we continuously monitor for regulatory compliances, right? So is there a continuous monitoring of your data, right? Are there underwriting decisions that can be autonomous based on the data that is coming in for, let's say, insurance underwriters, right? Can the customer experience be hyper-personalized based on the profile of the customer, right? All of these are actual AI use cases which can be deployed with our stack, right? Some of the embedded AI use cases, this is an example how what are the benefits that can come in from each of these business AI capabilities. These are embedded into our tech stack, right? I'll not go into the details of them because we have a booth, we can actually show it to you. The value outcomes that we are actually looking forward to with this is obviously the productive efficiency, right? That is one. But it will also impact how you bring your new products to the market, especially on the banking and insurance side. How much of your processes can become straight through rather than going through 5 levels of approvals, right? How you can reduce the time that you spend in terms of compliance to the various regulations. All of these are business values and outcomes that we are looking at when we talk about autonomous enterprise. Thank you so much for your audience. I am open to any questions, anything that you want to ask me, please.
What or if the additional license, what I would require?
So that depends upon what you are running today and what is the scope that we are looking at. So for example, how we have done it is we have modularized everything. So if you are looking only at policy management, then that's that's one tech stack. If you're only looking at claims management, that is one. If you're only looking at loans management, if you're also looking at back-end finances, if you're also looking at now consolidating multiple organizations, these are all a modular structure. And we basically leave that open to you in terms of how you want to design your scope. Because as organizations, you might have a clean slate or you might actually have something already, right? We don't want to completely rip and replace. At the same time, we want to deliver a value outcome for you. So it will
Is
be
it work on token base, or is it a flat charges, whatever you would require?
from an AI perspective, there are certain use cases which are base part of the base application itself. And there are certain AI use cases which will be customer premium, which will be tokenized.
And
Right.
then
So, for example, let's say a transactional AI or let's say conversational AI, that is part of the base, right? But the moment you talk about analytical AI or agents which bring in external data, mash that, and then give you an analysis, that's where tokenization becomes important.
And have you done the analysis between whatever we are doing with the manual person and versus your token cost? That analysis have you done anywhere?
Yes, a lot of people actually come to us with that kind of analysis. Obviously, in India, the labor cost is on the lower end compared to, let's say, some of the tokenization. So, our approach is to actually do a discovery workshop and pick up the high value use cases, because I would say that AI should not be used everywhere. Okay. AI can be everywhere, but should it be used everywhere? Maybe not.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Any other questions, please? Great. I'm still going to be there outside and during the dinner as well. Please do reach out to me to understand more about SAP. We want to actually deliver value and have meaningful conversations with you. Thank you so much for your audience.